the reason why I think that I like it and a lot of people would like it and what it kind of means to me is that it's a means for me to kind of occupy my time in a more interesting way. I mean, sometimes it may take me a couple of hours to draw squares on a grid paper, but these squares are now, I'm interpreting what these squares are to every individual that's playing. It's really just, I like crafting a story and engrossing people in an interesting world that you don't see in the video games that you play or stories that you might read. The story is my own. And it's something that people that I've played with, we still talk about to this day, certain events that happened and certain things that happened on. Do you remember when we decided to go into that cave and realize there was a giant spider in it? That's why I think that I like being kind of like a dungeon master or role playing all these different characters. Bartenders, unicorn, important. Unicorns are always important. Every NPC or every individual that they find, I have to come up with a name, maybe a backstory, a different voice, maybe. It's all about the storytelling aspect. You see a spectator.
What made you interested in it? Why do you play?
I play because the cool thing, the fun thing about D&D is that the story is an ever-changing thing. It's a constant choice between the dungeon master, myself, and the players, but it's mainly them choosing what they want to do versus me having a story that I want to be told, being told. But whatever story that I've created doesn't necessarily indicate what's going to happen in any given situation.
This is my first time playing D&D. Got my dice. My character. I'm a sorcerer.
You kind of just make your character based on what you find interesting, and usually that turns out to be that, yes, this character, I love making this character. I loved what story that I made in its background. I love the weapons that I use in my tactics and fighting. Because it's not necessarily about the fighting either. You could be somebody that's charismatic and can talk his or her way out of a fight. Or you can just be a British barbarian that runs through just with his warhammer and smashes things to pieces and doesn't think twice about anything. There's a lot of rolling involved. There's a lot of role play. A lot of people choose to roll a certain amount of dice and randomly find out their character values, like strength, intelligence, wisdom, charisma, and then create their backstory from there. And some people like to, I know what these stats should be. I know how I'm going to role play this character. I guess we should get this task done, Bjorn says. He looks over, though. None of the rest of them are waking up. It's very odd, you know. You go over, and Bjorn like taps Steven's character, just taps him, kind of shakes him a little bit. Nothing really happens. They seem to be in like this deep trance of sleep. Well, the reason why I enjoy D&D, and I think a lot of people would, is that it's about a story that is being created by the said dungeon master. And so it's my job to set my players in a world that they can envision in their heads. Bones everywhere. Pretty much he has been the guardian of whatever this is for many, many, many years.
So now that this quest is completed, what can you expect in preparing for the next one?
I have a few things in mind, and I have a few characters that will now talk about the events that happened in the dungeon. As far as where the story goes, that's up to the players.